again. We're back. Today I wanted to talk about something my wife, Mandy, actually said not that long ago, maybe a week or two ago, and I thought it was really cool, so I wrote it down. And it goes like this. Perspective is everything. It's all we have. Changing it is the only real way to change our lives. And that's what Mandy said. And I 100% agreed. At the time when she said it, I've said similar things in the past, but I haven't said it as eloquently as I thought Mandy did. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about that today. And I also, when I wanted to explore that idea as well. And I went online and I started looking at changing perspective, and I found this quote by a famous author called Wayne Dyer. And he says, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. Again, much more eloquent than I have said that sort of thing before. And I just think it really, they're both 100% right. If you put your effort into changing the way that you see food and its place in your life and your own place in the world and all those sorts of things, it's going to lead to success. Because you're going to start, one thing that you're going to start seeing is opportunities instead of challenges. And I think that's a really important thing for people who are trying to change a big thing about their life. It's going to come with challenges, changing your relationship with food, losing heaps of weight, doing all that sort of stuff. It's hard. Dealing with cravings is hard. It's a challenge. Cravings could be the thing that trips you up and makes you end your new effort to get healthy. Cravings you could view them as your nemesis, but you could also view them as an opportunity. So when cravings come, you could see it as a chance to practice, a chance to put into practice the things you've been learning and working on. A new craving arises and you can see it as, this is my chance now to get better at dealing with cravings. And I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind. And I'm a sporty guy, right? I love my sport, so I always think about things, or not always, but I often like to think about things in terms of sports. And when you hear the best athletes, the best teams, or people that are aspiring to be one of those things, they talk about that they want to face the best in the world. They want the chance to compete against the best because they relish that opportunity to test themselves and to experience what it's like to be in the vicinity of greatness. And they want to see how it happens so that they can learn from it. Hopefully they can beat it and become the best. But losing to the best, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a chance to test yourself and learn. And the best athletes and the people rising to the top, they seek out those opportunities. They don't run and hide from it. They don't see facing the best opposition as, oh no, we might lose here. This is I don't know if I want to do this because I might lose. They're not worried about that. They want to go out there and really put everything into it and just let it happen and test themselves. And I think that's a really good attitude to have. I read somewhere that the average ice skater falls in practice around 10,000 times before we actually get to see them on our TVs at the Olympics. And those ice skaters, every time they fall, 10,000 times, that's a lot of falls. And if they saw falling as a threat and as, a failure and as something that's going to cause huge problems for them, then I think they would stop. I don't think they would continue on. I think these ice skaters see a fall as an opportunity to learn. Of course, they don't want to fall, but they know that it's going to happen, and they use that as a chance to go, okay, what was my body position? What angle was I on? What did I do in the lead up to that fall that got me out of position that meant that a fall happened? And how can I change things next time so that the fall won't happen? What do I have to improve about my strength or my balance or my routine? And they examine it and they learn from it and they move on. And then 10,000 falls later, we see them at the Olympics. So we can take this mindset and we can use it on ourselves. We can look at the challenging parts of our lives, the cravings. They're an opportunity to practice beating cravings. The stressful time at work, or the receptionist that has a jar of chocolates on her desk and you have to walk past it 15 times a day and try to resist taking a chocolate out of the jar. Or the drive home from work where you go past your favorite drive-through and it's been a stressful day and you can't handle it and you really want to go in there. Or the party, the wedding that you have to go to where there's going to be junk food all over the place and cake and all of that. Or the lunch out with work colleagues, or I could go on and on and on. These are all opportunities that you can use, that you can learn from, that can become practice that help you get better at what it is you're trying to do. So don't fear them. Don't worry about them. Don't stress about them. Try to take emotion out of the picture and take a step back and look at it and figure out, what can I learn from this situation? How can I approach it in a new way? How can I look at it differently so that it becomes a positive rather than a negative? Because when negatives become positives, it totally changes your life. And I've experienced that myself when I learned how to switch my negative thought patterns into positive ones. That was the beginning of everything. That was the first really big thing that happened for me. And I hope that is something that can happen for you too. So in the comments below, I'd love to hear from you about some things that you have done that have been your way of changing a negative or a perceived negative into a positive. Could be, for me, one was that I learned to see going out for dinner with people or going to parties or gatherings where there was food around as an opportunity for me to make deeper connections with people and try to get better at having interesting conversation where I'm not distracted by the food that's around, where I can just learn to just show people or make people feel, is a better way to say it, make people feel like I'm interested and I care, and I'm not just constantly going backwards and forwards to the snacks. Another opportunity could be for date nights. Instead of just going to the same old restaurant, maybe you can find different things to do. Maybe there you can find more interesting things to do that don't involve food. There's a whole world out there that doesn't involve going to a restaurant. So there's an opportunity to make your life a little bit more interesting, maybe a little bit more fun. So there's a couple of examples, and I hope that you guys will share some more examples in the comments below. Feel free to ask questions there too. Like, subscribe, share this video, and eat simply, live fully, turn your negative thoughts around, change your perspective, look at things from all kinds of new angles, and your life will be better.